They were half of them were Jim earlier. I was up here.
Oh, I see. All right, let's take down to and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We have a communication. We have a very nice thank you note from Terry for the gift that the board gave her. You all enjoyed that. Was there any other communication, Jenna?
I received all of our.
Thank you. All right, I will now close the public hearing that we opened at our last trustees meeting on October 26th, 2020, and which was legally noticed to comment until November 1st, 2020. And that's for the Community Development Block Grant for the Cooperstown Distillery Project. So we didn't receive any additional comment by November 1st.
No additional comments.
Okay, so that is closed. We now have the review of our minutes. I know I sent one little change and Cindy did. I don't know if anybody else had any changes. If not, I'll entertain a motion for. Okay.
Maybe you have the same one, on page 2, paragraph in the middle beginning, Dr. Sperber stated, it should say in the second line, will it still, not still, this type of process.
Yes, that.
That's the one that Cindy found, right? Yes. Yep. Okay. So with that, and there was the only other correction was our downtown Wi-Fi project ESD grant is 57,000 and not 50, which is in there. So with those two changes, is there a motion to approve the October 26 minutes? By Cindy, second by Tim, all in favor?
Aye.
Good. We have a permit for the next Friends of Village Library Winter Carnival book sale. Any questions?
I think this goes without stating, but I think in approving this, we need to recognize that the principal library must adhere to whatever guidelines are in place at the time regarding gatherings.
All right, so we'll make sure in the permit that is included, Jenna?
Yes, I can.
All right, so Cindy, are you making that motion?
I'll make a motion to approve that stipulation.
And second by Jean, all in favor?
Aye.
Great. You all had the opportunity to review both the zoning enforcement officer's report in your packet and emailed to you were the minutes of HPAR, ZBA, and planning board. Does anybody have any questions, comments on any of that? Okay. I would like to appoint Jesse Ravage to the second alternate position on HPAR. Is there a motion to ratify my appointment?
I would so move. I think it's your choice.
By Joe, second by Matt, all in favor? And I also have one other vacancy I'd like to fill, and that is the second alternate position on ZBA. And Randy Chrisman, Crissman, has agreed to fill that second alternate position. Is there a motion to ratify?
So.
By Matt, second by Joe, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. We then have the police committee minutes, and everyone had the chance to read them. So if there aren't any questions, we'll just accept that report. All right. By motion of Cindy, second by Jean, all in favor? Other committee reports, we've had meetings this month of streets and buildings. So I'll let you go first, Cindy, with streets.
Yeah, I just want to follow up. Bertine McKenna was here for one of our trustees meetings, and that's what prompted our streets meeting. Some of the things that she had suggested, we simply can't do. We can't run plows the wrong way down the street for safety reasons. We can't send village crews out to shovel private sidewalks for both liability as well as equity issues. So we did make some suggestions to her about the way to handle that sidewalk situation, and she seems to understand those suggestions, but they involve her relationship with her contractor.
Anything else you want to comment on? Any questions? All right, motion to accept streets report. By Bill, second by Mac, all in favor?
You asked a question.
Oh, yeah.
Commissioner, I'm just wondering, is leaf cleanup done?
No, we're still going.
Still done, okay. Is it moving slower than usual? I just got.
Yeah, we are currently down right now, but we'll be back hopefully tomorrow.
Okay, great, thank you.
Buildings, Jim?
Well, the whole page of items here, as you can see. Library, association. And, I think it's included here. I think we got a rather long list of projects for this building. It's kind of a long-term wish list. I don't think it's included here, but it is included in the files. I won't go through the items, but we did spend some time on it. And we realized we have limited resources, but it's certainly well intended. And so we will refer to that from time to time. Other than that, pretty much it's self-explanatory. And it was our first meeting for a few months. We got left. So that's about it.
I noted on here that Cindy and you as the two trustees on that committee approved the library's fiber optic, and that's going to come up later. So I think maybe you could verse at that time a little bit more to the board on that project. So we're familiar with it. Okay.
I have one potential action item.
Okay.
We talked about the skylights at this meeting, and I wonder if it would be appropriate to authorize going to bid on the skylight work when we receive approval from the State Historic Preservation Office. And I say that only because, you know, our next meeting will be after the holidays at the beginning of the year. And it's possible we may get that within the next couple of weeks, and it would be nice to have our architect work on it before the holidays.
I think that our only concern with that is that at this point, we have, you know, parks and historic preservation. We've begun, Jenna and I have been working on those two grants.
Mm-hmm.
And if you remember last month, we passed the two resolutions. Mm-hmm. And there were several other documents that had to go in. And they have all gone in. They had to go, the originals had to go, so it's snail mail.
Yep.
And we have to be in the system with a master contract before we can approve anything, so.
Do they also have to approve our bid documents though? That's what I'm anticipating the holdup may be.
Is the approving the bid doc, my understanding is any contract, you have to have that master contract before you can move forward. That,
Okay.
speaking to Jean Engelhofer,
Okay.
that was it, so, hopefully, you know, we did that, we hopped right on it, and did that last week. I will be sure by, you know, Monday of next week, I will follow up with Jean to see if we're missing anything.
Okay.
And she's entering it into the system, so we might know by December.
It's fine, I think that probably means that we wouldn't get anything from the architect back to Parks and Rec until probably the beginning of February.
Why don't, you could make a motion and make it contingent on getting the master contract in place with the granting agency.
As well as SHPO approval of the plans.
Correct.
Sure.
And that, we'll do it that way.
All right, I'll make a motion to authorize going to bid for the skylight work contingent upon both the execution of a master contract and approval of the proposed work by the State Historic Preservation Office.
Motion seconded by Tim, all in favor?
Aye.
So, a motion to accept the buildings report that was the only remaining thing. Moved by Cindy, second by Tim, all in favor? Great. We're Joe, we're on to finance.
All right, everybody, we have, as we do every month in our package, the wealth management post-tax statement for your review. Sales tax is also reported from the county, and we are, interestingly enough, month over month, from last year to this year for September, there's a 2,000, just about a $2,200 reduction this September from September 2019, which again is, I think it's good news in some respect as far as the differential is greater than what we went through, but we have a lot of visitors in the village this in the month of September, as I recall. So that's there for your consideration. We have our award service program agreements. These 10-plex managers, the retirement awards and our portfolio, the distribution of the awards to the eligible former employees. And we have two items for consideration. One is to continue the renewal of their service agreement. There's a fee for service of, I think, around $4,900. That is their fee for managing the service award program. And I would need a motion to, we can discuss this, but we would need a motion to approve the service agreement with Penflex for the coming year. And I'll make a motion to that effect.
Moved by Joe, second by Jim. Any questions? Are you doing the 4,900 plus the
72,000.
low sec audit package and the gas fee?
That will include, it doesn't, we do want to do that.
Okay,
So that would, on the first, on the front of the page of the service award program fee schedule, you'll see there's an audit package fee of $495 and the gas fee, 73 package fee of $950. I would include, I do think we want to include that.
okay, so we're at a total of $6,350, right?
Yes.
Right, okay, I just wanted that correct. So, everybody good? All in favor?
Thank you for checking that. And then the second related item to this is the deposit we need to make into that fund. And this, for this coming year, it's $72,198, our contribution for 2021. And interestingly enough, the market in 2019 performed so well that this is about a $3,000 reduction from our contribution last year. Not to say the future will go for us, but so this is a slightly lower contribution figure to meet our responsibilities to the retirement program. And I will move that we authorize that payment.
Moved by Joe, second by Matt, all in favor?
Let's see. And Mitch, you might, let's see. So we have this quarterly invoice we can get to. And the New York Retirement System invoice, we want to pay that. Typically, we pay that in December, by December 15th, to obtain a discount. And in your packet, you'll see the New York State local retirement system, our payment into that, if we pay by December 15th, will be $22,979. If we wait until February to pay, it will be $23,169. So Deb discussed this with me, and during our treasurer, and she recommends that we proceed with payment prior to December 15th, to take advantage of that discount tonight. So
By Joe, second by Jean, all in favor? Are you skipping over the SJB Portland and for Mitch to handle, or?
no, I wanted to make sure I got all the, what I consider to be the like kind of items on.
Oh, okay.
So now we can go back to,
I have a question about the New York State retirement system. Are there two separate invoices included in our packet, and do we just approve both of them?
I thought that they were redundant, but maybe I'm wrong. Let's see. One is for police and one is for all other employees.
So we did all other employees, correct?
You did the 22.
Right, thank you. So we should also do the
110,
the one thing.
778.
So I will move that we also approve that payment of $110,778.
By Joe, second by Cindy, all in favor?
Aye.
Now, we have a Doubleday Field invoice of $1,520 that's been submitted for payment. And I move that, I don't know if Gene or Matt or Mitch have anything to say about this, but I would, to start the discussion, I move that we approve that payment of $1,520.
Okay, motion made by Joe, second by Matt. The background that I know on this is that it was conducted earlier, as you can see, and somehow it did not get submitted or was not seen. So it is an amount that is due pertaining to the Doubleday project. And it'll come from the Doubleday capital. So motion's been made and seconded. Right. All in favor?
Annually, we get a statement of unpaid property taxes, which is in your account, and there's a total, as I'm reading this, of $116,812.45, and the property owners are listed who are in arrears. What we do in this case is we notify the county of these delinquent payments. The county reimburses the village in the amount of the arrears, and then they proceed to collect on behalf of us. And it's what's interesting about this is that the village imposes the total county amount, and then the county imposes yet another payment on top of that. So the property owners who are in arrears by the time this gets to the county will be paying really liable for substantial penalties relative to their tax itself. So there's one item on this list that is deemed uncollectible, which Deb says is unusual in her experience. It's one of the properties on Main Street that was seized by the federal government. The taxes due are $3,558.28. And for now, we don't seem to have a way levying on that, so that's uncollectible for now, but not necessarily permanent.
Permanently to a degree, because once the U.S. Marshals seize the property, they do not pay tax. So depending on how it all pans out.
Right, if they dispose of the property eventually, Can taxes be collected in arrears for that?
I wasn't totally clear on that with you, because we've never had one of those US elections. Cindy?
Before passing this on to the county, there are 4 entries on register for $1.01. And I just wonder if there's a way to straighten that out, because they all seem to be based on perhaps this calculation of a second installment. The fines to have the county do it are going to be tremendous for what is a really minuscule amount.
Yeah, well, actually, the actual amount owed is 1 penny.
Right.
The dollar that's added on, our treasurer, is the maintenance cost to send that notice out. I don't know if it takes more time and effort to unread that ballot or just put it on there and move along.
I think we've had those before. It's essentially when people don't pay in full
Right.
by the due date.
Yeah. I'm not sure what it is, I just know that the fines for that are going to be incredible in relationship to the amount that's actually owed.
Do you know the county fine?
I don't, but I'm guessing it's a lot more than $1.
I do want to say that, you know, Deb was very clear in saying that they had dutifully sent out all the notices and so on, so.
And they had until November 1st, or there was a date. They missed, obviously, when would the second one have been due? It's end of September, or end of August, I'm sorry, end of August. So they had been notified, and they had till November 1st to remedy the situation.
Right.
And I actually was in the office when someone called on like the 9th or 15th, I can't remember. And there's nothing you can do after that point, because you established it and you did give them 3 months to pay it.
And some of these are not first-time delinquencies, but there's a lot of repetition on this list according to our treasurer.
Yep.
So this is, I think, the mayor has signed this, and this would be sent to the county. Do we need a motion to approve that action?
I asked that because she actually had to get this over there quickly before. And so she had me come in on that date and sign it, and I said, I believe this always goes to the board, so I think at this point you should just ratify that it has been done, that the taxes, the unpaid property taxes have been sent to the county for relevy according to this list.
Right, so,
And second by Jean, all in favor?
I think this is also for approval, item number 9, our bond interest payment of $6,900 from water and $4,600 from sewer. Rich, am I right about that, or are you familiar with that?
I'm sorry?
This item number 9, this bond interest payment, we have to make a motion to approve.
Correct.
And so I so move that we make that payment.
Okay. Second by Matt, all in favor?
And whenever we make amendments to our village laws, there's a service, the general code that integrates our local laws into a codification system and make sure that things are properly replaced and integrated. The fee for doing that, according to the attached estimate that's in your packet, is between $7,345 and $9,080. We're not sure exactly how much that'll cost, but I recommend that we authorize the payment of that fee for that service.
By Joe, second by Jean, all in favor?
We have, I'll make a motion that we approve the transfers from sewer plant improvements and renovation to our sewer checking account. This is to keep up with our Harbor at the wastewater treatment plant.
Motion made, second by Jean. Any questions on that? If you recall, we said that we would pay in-house, so to speak, rather than going back. So that's what this is, so thank you. All in favor?
I have a piece of equipment, a 2003 Ford F-750 to declare surplus, and I so move that we make that surplus.
Second by Cindy, all in favor?
And there is a list of, I think this is the handwritten surplus list of police equipment in your packet. I also move we declare surplus.
All right,
Any questions about that? Did you see that handwritten list?
this is, from the police department, correct?
Right.
This one, and, you can see a lot of this might be scrapped, but there's a lot of detritus, shall we say, that has existed for years since we cleaned out. So the motion was made to surplus this by Joe, second by Jean, all in favor?
Similarly, the fire department has a piece of equipment, a portable pond, basically to use as with the pumping of trucks. They have acquired a new one to replace it, and they like to either be authorized to declare surplus or donate it to another and I'll move that we approve that.
Second by Matt, all in favor? Aye.
And the last item on my list is the wastewater treatment plant paving project. And you have a short paragraph here describing that. Mitch, do you want to add anything to?
This should have been attached to a change order that needs to get approved for paving modifications at the sewer plant in the amount of $38,400, just for additional items, mainly because of the oil remediation we had to do this year.
Right, if you remember, there was a tank, buried tank found after we'd done a lot of work, and that had to be removed, and there was much more excavation of what had been stable materials. So because of that excavation, there is some concern of settling, and if we pave it too soon in this season, there might be some failing or subsidence in the coming season, so we're postponing that work until spring. And there was more work to be done because of that, than was originally planned for.
So the associated cost is, the cost and scopes of this change has been reviewed by EOC, so it's covered
Yes.
and has been approved pending village approval. So the amount is $38,400?
Correct.
Correct, okay. So motion by
Amit?
Joe, second by Jim, all in favor?
Aye. And then, let's see, we have abstracts and transfer, we jump to that, and we wrap that up and approve it, then if you want to go to personnel first. We have the overtime analysis and the leave analysis, payroll variance report in the packet as well. So it brings us to the abstracts and transfers, which are enumerated for you, and I move that we approve them.
Motion made by Joe, second by Jean, all in favor? Motion to approve the finance report. By Jean, second by Joe, all in favor? All right, now we're moving on to, we're leaving on here kind of a summary list of some of the grants. I want to give all the credit in the world to Mitch and Jenna, who've really stepped up to the plate. Mitch has taken on a lot of our ESD grants and has begun navigating that process for Doubleday. He's also taken on, finishing up the TEP project. You know, we just have a few kind of unfinished aspects on that, but there will be some reimbursements. So that is actually something that you have in front of you, because Mitch will now be the new individual working, representing the village, and particularly in the EVO system, which is kind of the system for reporting this material. We need to adopt this resolution. Whereas New York State DOT requires the village board to adopt a resolution designating Mitchell Hoteling Superintendent of Public Works as the responsible local official for project administration, including the use of the Equitable Business Opportunities EVO system for the TEP. Therefore, be it resolved that Mitchell Hoteling Superintendent of Public Works is designated as the responsible local official for purposes of project administration, including the use of the EVO system. So is there a motion to approve this resolution? By Matt, second by Joe, all in favor?
Aye. Thank you, Mitch.
Thank you, Jenna, for preparing that for tonight. Mitch, do you have anything you would like to add or comment on any of those at this point, those grants, or?
The only thing I need is, I don't know if we're gonna bring it up a little bit later or what, but the approval to release retainage for Smith Site Development for the AA project.
Why don't we do it here,
Okay.
all right? Do you have that amount, or?
I don't have it in front of me, it was around 25,000.
Okay, so this is, the double way project. If you remember, we had several bids. Smith was the company that did the, 1939 grandstand. We always, on these projects, have a degree of retainage. You see that on the payouts. It says what the retainage is. And we've been holding that. They were actually one of the good duties who had entered all their MWBE information into the EVO system. They've done everything. They are really wrapped up. Rick Bliss of Lane has said that they are 100% complete, so we can release their retainage. So that is what we would be doing at this point.
It's $25,089 a month.
Thank you, Jenna. Okay, so is there a motion to pay the retainage on Smith? By Jean, second by Joe, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, Mitch. Thank you, Jenna. Okay. Anything else?
I just want to be sure we have these Eastern proposals. Mitch, do we have to approve these? The light gates and the.
Those are what we did a little while ago with the transfers.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what those are for. I just put those in there so everybody knew what we were transferring.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, we're moving on. You have the Public Safety Mutual Aid Agreement with Otsego County and the Otsego County Sheriff's Department. This we do every few years. The original has already been signed by everyone but the village at this point. And we have the original to be signed. Is there a motion to enter into this mutual aid agreement?
So moved with the updating that we now have a chief.
Yes, and I was going to say that, thank you. Yeah, we'll have to make a note on that, Jenna.
Yeah.
For some reason, I don't know if he's already, I haven't seen the original, I don't know if James,
It still says Calvin on the original, so,
but he didn't sign it yet. did he?
no, nobody signed it for the police yet.
Okay, we will cross that out and put Frank Cavallari chief. So Cindy's made the motion, second by Jim, all in favor? Okay. I just wanted to give a little update on a couple requirements that our village, Governor Cuomo passed legislation, approved legislation for the public employer emergency planning response. It's a requirement. And to a degree, it's coming out of the actions we had to take at the time of the pandemic, but they don't want it to be solely kind of thinking only about COVID-19, but they want every municipality to have an emergency plan in place. And I attended, or I watched a webinar on October 27th. It was extremely good for groups. And we basically have a template to move forward on. It's not going to be terribly onerous utilizing them. And the other, I just wanted, I don't think there's been kind of an update here. You can read the minutes of all the meetings. The other thing that was recommended that we bring in people from the community. And early on, it was, what do you want your police force to look like? And very much it became apparent that we're very much a community police force with lots of calls for service. It's not like we're high crime, but we do have wellness checks, et cetera, many things like that. So we brought in Eve Bubalis from Commissioner of Social Services. We brought in, what was her name? Susan Day from the county. She's the Director of Community Services, because it seemed like a lot of the issues were mental health and kind of community needs, people who didn't have services, and how could we just meet those. We also looked at the wellness of officers, and, could we have critical incidents debriefing resources for them, so we determined what those would be. We also met with Harold Southward, who is the Director of Public Safety at Bassett, to ensure that, unfortunately, there's no after-hours critical care for mental health. And it ends up landing in the emergency room, which can't always service it, but then once they're discharged, is there a connection to get them back into the community with resources? So we felt these were all very important things. We are now, at our most recent meeting, we are at the point where we're looking at everything we pulled together and writing our plan, what we see our police community relationship and scope going forward. We're also looking at that use of force policy, ensuring it addresses everyone and all those concerns. So we're in the plan. We hope to have that pretty much completed by mid-December, and then it'll be again posted on our website and out there, because we want community feedback on that. Did we hit the target this group, or do we want to go a different direction? And I should tell you that we've also been utilizing the Friends of Village Library Cooperstown Reflects on Racism, which have been wonderful programs. I don't know if you've been able to see them. They're also recorded. And on January 13th, their panel will be on law enforcement, and Chief Cavalieri and I, along with representatives from the county, for the panel, talking about everything. So, if you have any questions, feel free to, chat with Jean and Rich or me, but again, all that material. And then, this came up, talking to be more secure in the village, as you start to hear about other municipalities, school districts, et cetera, having issues. So Kyle put this kind of proposal together for backing up data and antivirus, and you can see that, as well as his personal estimate for doing it. It was a little unclear to me, so I did get a clarification just before of what the total would be. So if you're looking at this, it comes out to $4,800 a year, $200 a month for server patches and updates, and $200 a month for the rest of the village computers. Yes, about $116 a month for antivirus and iDrive backup. So we're looking at about $4,800 to provide much better cybersecurity for the village's computers, etc. I can text him, not that I would necessarily know what level of security. So, is there a motion?
So moved.
by Max, second by Cindy, all in favor? Had an office cell phone. It became apparent that I'd like to authorize her to go ahead and secure an office cell phone, which is often needed, as you know, for text verification for certain issues. So, Cindy?
Motion up to 120.
You may remember that I did, well, I say that, but both Cindy and I had to look back on minutes and try and figure out when this was. Hall of Fame pictures, et cetera, on it, and it had been dormant for some while, but we felt it was important to get that, so we did grab that. Our goal was really, I think, to have a Village of Cooperstown Facebook page, so we could disseminate information. You know, if we have a press release or something pertinent to get out there and alert, it's the way to do it now. So Cindy did acquire that, per the motion, it was only to acquire that for this time, New York. And in working with Kyle, it became apparent that to try and unload that and morph it into what we want, it's not the right beast, shall we say. We would be much better off and it'd be more streamlined and efficient to just create our own Village of Cooperstown Facebook page. So at this point, the motion in August was simply to acquire it because we kind of went around the bush if that's what we want to do. So at this point, I am looking for a motion to establish a Village of Cooperstown Facebook page with Kyle as our IT administrator.
So,
By Max, second by Cindy. Any questions, comments? All in favor?
aye.
And that is why it'd be good to get that cell phone, because when you establish that Facebook page, it has to come back to kind of an account and a text, et cetera. And so that we've now put all the little pieces in place. Moving forward, we have, just for your review, we don't accept anything, the Watershed Supervisory Committee minutes. And we also have the shared services agreement with New York State DOT. Mitch, I don't know if you have any.
They're just renewing, a bunch of them have expired, so the state is trying to renew everything, and you have the option of a 1, 2, or 4-year agreement.
Is there any reason not to take the longer term?
No, it's something good, I think, to have in our back pocket. I've never called on the state for anything, but I think we would be more benefit than they would.
All right, is there a motion then to approve this for a period of 4 years? By Cindy, second by Jim, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. And now we're at the, we're under new business, the library request for First Light, a method and procedure for the fiber internet connection. So Cindy and Jim, do you have some info?
So we talked about this very briefly at the building committee meeting, and part of the reason that it's library representatives who have specifically been in contact with First Light. What wasn't clear and still isn't clear to me is how the funding for this works. It looks like it's through the Fort County library system. What became clear as we were sitting at the table is that we have multiple users in this building, and it's great that one wants to upgrade, but the possibility that this type of service could also help the village as well as the art association, clearly at cost to those entities, was definitely batted around and thought to be a positive. And I don't know, Mitch, if there's been any more follow-up on how.
I did get some more information on this today, and the cost is being paid by the Fort County Library System. And the purpose of this is Governor Cuomo has defined the minimum standards for bandwidth in libraries of New York to be 100 megabits by whatever that is, another 100 megabits. Basically, the government saying that the libraries have to upgrade.
I did notice that the contact was this individual, Jeff Henry, from the Fort County Library System. So it's essentially they are funding it for the library, the whole installation.
The way I understand it, yes.
So would we extend, the cabling and so forth to serve the village offices? Is that what we're saying?
At this point, no, this is just for the library.
Just for,
But we were saying that if that's a possibility, I don't know that it's a possibility, but if it's a possibility, that might be beneficial for us, especially as we're doing more streaming and the like, you can benefit additional bandwidth.
I would be, I mean, just the economies of scale, I think would make sense for us to explore that. If we can,
Probably the one thing that could be explored is, once this is in, because it's coming into the building, and obviously they're showing where it's gonna be a panel in our building, et cetera. That's why they need kind of the building owner approval. It might be worth contacting First Light and just seeing, once the system is already in place in the building, can we then kind of ride on that?
Yeah, I mean, I think it would make sense to touch base with them prior to the installation to make sure
Yeah.
there's nothing that needs to be done differently to serve other.
That's what I mean, reach out to First Light
Mhm.
and say, you know, once it's in the building, can we put the art association in 6 months easily, or is there something they should be doing previously? No? Okay, good. All right, so what we need is, Mitch is gonna follow up on that. So they do need, approval by the building owner. And that is obviously the village of Cooperstown. So, is there a motion to authorize me to sign this? By Jim, second by Cindy, all in favor? Okay. All right, boy, we have just moved right through it. I do want to have a little discussion about the next meeting, because I know that, you know, we have members that, particularly with kind of some of the increase in cases in surrounding areas, would like to return to virtual for our December 28th meeting. Is there any discussion, comments?
virtually,
For December 28th meeting and not meet in person?
I would be in favor of virtual meeting.
You need fine, December 28th. Okay, and second?
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Perfect. And, I think we'll be sending a little press release on that, Libby, just so you know. We were excited by the governor's, singling us out today in his briefing. We felt very proud. So we have a little image of that, and we will send it along with an alert about,
We got an honorable shout out.
I'm sorry?
Did we?
We did.
I didn't catch it, what could,
I
you
scored
elaborate?
it. Oh, I scored. Did everybody get it? I sent
I
it.
didn't get it.
I snapped a picture. Oh, great.
What did he say?
It was, it focused on hot spots in the state and the low spot, and we are kind of a low spot.
The low spot.
The low spot, Cooperstown. I'll send you, we'll finalize this, and I'll get it to you tonight, Vicky.
Yeah, Lancaster and Erie County was the hottest, and Cooperstown, New Mexico was the coldest.
Yeah.
It's a nice little image capture out there, isn't it?
I know, I was a little skewed, but it looks good. All right, I move that we adjourn to go to executive session to discuss the work history of particular individuals.
Second.
Second?
Who seconded that?
So second. All in favor?
Well, I just had a-
And yeah, we'll now let,
Mitch, yes, come back. Good question.
is Mitch leaving? Do you feel,
Do you need me?
you feel okay? Okay. All right.
Do you want to do this tonight or?
Yes,
Nothing.
bring it over. Thank you, Ben.
It's huge.
Awesome.
Down in the hall.
Yeah.
Come on, you stop by, I'll tell you what it is.
The mattress?
The service agreement.
Yeah.
For the
Yeah, it was interesting.
retirement fund.
Yeah.
The office check, we were saying.
Oh, where's the button?
That's what I'm thinking. Did she give you that, the treasurer?
Nothing original. it says you make a motion to come out of executive session and then you make your motion to appoint. the-
Okay, so we can make the motion. I think we could make any motion in the executive session.
But can I keep track of that?
How did Terry put it?
I
in
can't
here?
record the motion until after you're out of executive.
Oh, no, we'll make the motion. Cindy was just making a point.
Oh, I
that she
see.
wanted to
Yeah,
do.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, she wasn't actually doing it.
Actually, I think you should probably do it, right?
Oh, we're live again now, social time.
For, Par.
We're live.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when we're live again, just tell us.
He just said we're live again, so do you want me to tell him to hold off?
Don't be like that.
Hold on.
Okay. That's good.
Okay, live again.
I move that we hire Jeremiah Parr for the vacant HMEO position.
Second.
Second, I'm sorry.
Who was the second?
I'm sorry?
Who was the second?
Gene.
Okay.
All in favor?
Uh,
Okay, motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, everyone.
I can be-
Well, I was going to call her and ask her what I could do for her.